Good day once again. I am your host Amijaite, and today I will be looking at idioms. And as you know, idioms are very important in our day-to-day communication. So it's important that we know as much of it as possible. And as it is stated, an idiom is a fixed group of words with a special meaning that cannot be deduced from the combination of actual words used. One of the recommendable ways to learn and remember them easily is to categorize them into themes, metaphorical fields, and to see them in sentences. We are going to look at the different metaphoric themes that these idioms are divided into. And first on our list is night metaphors. We are going to see idioms that are related to the night metaphors. And the first one we have is a dark horse. A dark horse, it is a person who keeps his or her interest or ideas in secret, especially for someone who has surprising abilities or skills. A dark horse is related to an individual who is very, very secretive, who always wants to surprise people. Example, Fatmata is such a dark horse. What makes Fatmata a dark horse? Because I had no idea how she did publish a book. I just saw the surprise. So Fatmata is a dark horse because she has kept it a secret and has surprised everybody. Next is a night out. Remember, we are still dealing with night metaphors. A night out. A night out is an enjoyable evening spent at a restaurant or a theater rather than staying at home. How many of us have got a night out? I think all of us. So when you go out at night, that is when you have a night out with friends, at the beach, at a restaurant, rather than staying at home, it means you had a night out. Example, let us have a night out at Dream Park. We are talking about Dream Park here. And all we know is what happened at Dream Park is all enjoyment. So when we go to the Dream Park, it means we are having a night out because it is related to what enjoyment. The third one on the night metaphor is a night on the town. A night on the town is an evening when one goes out to enjoy entertainment, such as dancing, eating in a restaurant, and drinking in a bar. When you go outside to enjoy, maybe you went to attend Gala Dinner of Yusundu, or maybe you went to attend Jezol or ST, it means you had a night on the town. Example, Omar and Usman planned a night on the town after their graduation. All is related to what enjoyment. Next is going to be on relationship metaphor. That is the relationship between people. Metaphors, idioms that are related to that. And the first on the relationship metaphor is to make up. What do we mean by making up? This means to forgive and become friends again with a person after an argument or disagreement. What we are trying to say here is, when two parties or two or more people have a problem, when they reconcile, it means they have made up. Example, Abdullah and Modu made up after their sharp exchange at the recent inter-house debate. So it means they have reconciled. The next is to break the ice. What do I mean by breaking ice? This means to make a social situation more formal and relaxed. Example, as very few people know one another at the naming ceremony, I decided to break the ice by sharing canned drinks and biscuits. Next is to fall out of favor. What do we mean by falling out of favor? To fall out of favor means to be no longer liked or supported. Example, Baba fell out of favor with his coach over a dispute over allowances. If you are having a close relationship with a person and the person no longer supports you in whatever you do, it means you have fell out of favor. It means you will no longer be supported by the person 100%. From that, we move to color metaphors. We all know that there are idioms that are related to colors. And the first one is to tell a white lie. Imagine telling a white lie. This means to tell a lie in order to save someone from being upset by the truth. Example, he told a white lie when he was asked about his brother's qualification. Look at that. You are telling a lie, not a black lie, but a white lie to save someone from being upset by the truth. Next is to tell a black lie, to show you that we have a white lie, but we also have a black lie. Now, a black lie means to tell a lie in order to put someone in trouble. So you can see to it that the black lie is to save someone from embarrassment, but a black lie is to put someone in trouble. So these are opposite idioms. Example, although he did not see him steal the book, he told a black lie and Abu was surprised by the teacher. Next, a black look. There are different types of look on the idiom, and this one looks at the black look. Now, looking at someone with a black look means a look that is full of anger and hatred. When you look at someone, how many of us have looked at someone with a black look? So many of us. So looking at someone with anger and hatred means you're looking at a person with a black look. Example, when I told her I love her, she gave me a black look, which means she frowned. Good. From that, we now move on to the garden metaphors. Garden metaphors. We're going to start with the grassroots. These refer to ordinary people in a society or organization, especially of a political party. Example, the feeling among the grassroots of the party is that the leaders are not radical enough. Number two, To root out or root up, it means to get rid of or to abolish. Example, in order to root out corruption in the society, or in order to root out corruption in the civil service, strict measures will have to be taken. In order to totally eradicate, fight slavery, fight corruption, fight injustice, strict measures will have to be taken. So rooting out or rooting up here is to show that you want to totally remove it. From rooting out, we move to weed out. Weeding. What is a weed? In agric, we are told that a weed is an unwanted plant that grows in an unwanted area. So an idiom here is telling us to weed out means to remove an unwanted person. So it is not only weed that we weed out, but we also weed out persons. This means to remove an unwanted person. Example, the first round on interviews only really serves to weed out the very weakest of application. Remember, there are steps of interview. So this example is trying to show that the first interview is to really weed out the weakest of the applicants before they come and face the competent people. From that, we move to the knife metaphors. Knife metaphors. What does a knife do? It cuts. So looking at knife metaphors, the first one that we have is to be cutting edge of something. To be cutting edge of something, which means you are involved in its most recent stage of development. Example, the BBC is at the cutting edge of computer technology. 2, I am not cut out, I am the right type of person. 3, I am not cut out to be a politician. We look at to cut through. To cut through. It means to understand what is behind something. Example, Mariama always manages to cut through the philosophy lectures of Mr. Saliu Kamara and pass the test with flying colors. Meaning, when Mr. Saliu Kamara is teaching, Mariama is able to understand very well and quickly, which is why she passes with flying colors. We are now going to look at body metaphor. With the body metaphor, you are going to see parts. And the first one is hand and foot. Now, hand and foot means in all possible ways or completely. Example, new reporting restrictions have bounded the country's media hand and foot. It means they have bounded the country's media in all possible ways, in totality or completely. So we use hand and foot when we are referring to every endeavor completely. We now move to hand in glove. Let us work hand in glove. It means let's work in close association or collaboration. Example, manufacturers in the Gambia were working hand in glove with their African partners to beat their Asian competitors. Working hand in glove is to work in unison, to unanimously work. Next is heads will roll. From hand and foot, We move to the head as part of the body. Heads will roll. Some people will be punished or dismissed. Example, the company has suffered huge losses. Heads are sorely going to roll, meaning people will be punished or some will be dismissed. Good. Now from body, we now move on to the clothes metaphor. The clothes metaphor. The first one we have is to keep your shirt on, which means that not to get angry. It means to avoid getting angry by all means. When you avoid getting angry by all means, it means you are keeping your shirt on. Example, although Modulamin was clearly provoked, he kept his shirt on. What this example is trying to explain is that he has avoided getting angry by all means. The second one is to be in someone's shoe. We are in the same shoe, which means to be in their situation or to be in the same situation. Example, I wouldn't like to be in Usman's shoe. Imagine the trouble he is going to be in. I wouldn't like to be in Usman's shoe, considering the kind of problem that he will be going through. It means that you don't want to be in Usman's shoe. The next one is to throw or toss your heart into the ring. To throw or to toss your heart into the ring, which means to show your intentions, to clearly specify what is in your heart. Example, as Fatmata's parents were preparing to send her overseas on further studies, Aminata threw her heart into the ring. It means she clearly stated her intentions. We're now going to move to conflict metaphors. Conflict metaphors. To bury the hatchet. To bury the hatchet means to agree and forget about the past differences and become friends again. After the trouble that has happened between Lamin and Ibrahima, they buried the hatchet. It means they agree and forget about the past differences and became friends again. Example, after not speaking to each other for years, the two women decided to bury the hatchet. From that, we move to another type of conflict metaphor, which is to kill in cold blood. When you kill someone in cold blood, it means you kill intentionally and callously. Example, he was killed in cold blood at the forest. Next, to be in the firing line, which means to be criticized for something one would have said or done. If you are to be in the firing line, it means you are going to receive criticisms for what you have said or for what you have done. Example, the manager found himself in the firing line after his controversial comments about the employees. We now move to the animal metaphors. And the first one we have is to kill the goose that lays the golden egg, which means to destroy the thing that brings a lot of benefit. If you kill the goose that lay the golden eggs, it could, for instance, be killing or destroying the very thing that brings benefit to you. Example, if the government introduces visas for tourists, it will be in danger of killing the goose that lay the golden egg. This is just to reiterate the fact that tourists come to the Gambia and they have a lot of benefits that we benefit from. So if visa is to be introduced for their coming, it means that we are going to kill the goose that lay the golden egg, because we will no longer get the benefit that is attached to the tourism sector. Again, to let the cat out of the bag, it means to reveal a secret. Hadn't by reveal, let the cat out of the bag. Maybe Anasa let the cat out of the bag. It means they reveal a secret. Example, Mr. Fai let the cat out of the bag when he mentioned the awarding of prizes to his achievers. It was supposed to be a surprise at the end of the year. It means he let the cat. Prizes to people are supposed to be surprises to them. But if it is revealed before it could be even given to them, it means that you have let the cat out of the bag. It is no longer a secret. Next is lion's share. To have a lion's share of something. It means to have the largest share or portion or proportion. Example, reputable aid agencies spend the lion's share of their earning on socio-economic projects and a marginal amount on administration, which means that they spend the greater amount of their share on socio-economic projects. Next, we will look at water metaphors. To water down. To water down means to weaken the potency or effectiveness of something. Example, the absence of the police ban at the graduation watered down the ceremony. It means the ceremony was not very colorful. To hold water. This means to remain sound, consistent or logical. Example, his argument that the underdevelopment of Africa is externally induced holds water, which is to say that is sound, consistent, and logical. We now look at the wind metaphor, which means to throw, the first one under it is to throw caution to the wind. When you throw caution to the wind, it means to lose one's temper. Example, when he was provoked over his dismissal, he threw caution to the wind and attacked his tormentors. To get wind of means to hear about something. Example, I don't want my colleagues to get wind of the fact that I'm leaving in case they tell my boss, which means I will be leaving, but I will not want my colleagues to know anything about it, as they might inform my boss about it. Next is rain metaphor. And the first one is, come rain or shine, which means whatever happens. Example, I will come rain or shine, I will see you on Friday, which means I am so optimistic that I will be seeing you on Friday. Again, a rainy day. A rainy day is a time when money might unexpectedly be needed. Example, she had saved or kept some money for the rainy day. It means you are storing for the future. Exactly. To rain out. To rain out means to cause an event to be postponed or cancelled because of the rain, which we highly experience during the rainy season. So when the rain cancelled our events, it means it has rained out. Example, the match between Brikama United and Steve Biko was rained out. Exactly. We now look at the moon metaphors. Moon metaphors. And the first one we have, once in a blue moon. This means very seldom or rare. If it's once in a blue moon, it means it's very, very seldom or very rare. Example, Musukeba visits her grandmother in Sitanunku once in a blue moon. It means he visits there very rare or very seldom. To be over the moon is another idiom. This means to be very pleased, to be very happy. Example, Aminata was over the moon about or with her new bike. We move to the next one. House metaphor. The first one we have, to set or put your house in order. It means to solve your own problem. When you are asked to go and put your house in order, it means you are asked to solve your own problem first. Example, Mr. Kamal was told to put his house in order before he travels to Ghana, which means he has to sort out everything that is supposed to be sorted out before traveling to Ghana. Next, a roof over one's head. It means a place or somewhere to live. Putting a roof over one's head is accommodation, sort of. Example, Madame Toure gave Fatou enough money to have a roof over her head. It means Madame Toure has provided accommodation for Fatou. Well, this takes us to the end of the lesson today. I hope you have learned so much about idioms, and I hope that you will be using them in your communication. But before I take a leave of you, I will advise you to always wash your hand, use sanitizers, take all precautions that are put in place to avoid the spread of coronavirus. Always contact health officials if you feel otherwise about yourself. See you. Bye.